I was muted the whole time on Facebook. Holy shit. Okay. So to kind of recap what I'm talking about, thank you guys who are watching on Facebook and YouTube. I'm sorry I was muted. I played music in the background and I'm using Instagram on my phone. So to catch up with everyone here, I'm currently just like focusing on the Muay Thai stuff. Um, and the podcast has been suffering a little bit because of that, because I've been just so focused on training. And then again, with the latest competition I just did, with the training camps and dieting and conditioning and all that stuff, it's been really rough. To kind of like find time to edit and then post things up and to make these long form content consumable for the people who are like viewing or listening. And so if you've been listening to the podcast since like the beginning, thank you guys so much. I know there's a lot of content to listen to, and um it's just been tough because I've been doing the anime frontier stuff too, and I still got that stuff that I gotta work on, and that has not been easy. Definitely a lot harder editing that stuff on the laptop versus like on the phone. Um, and it's very time consuming. So like it's either I'm doing one thing or the other. But thank you guys for just like being patient with the podcast and just continuing to go back and listen to the episodes or sharing the episodes or continuing to follow me on this Muay Thai journey that I'm doing. But it's been great overall. Like it's just trying to find time to do all of this, and it's very it's not I want to say it's very difficult at times, but it's been fun. It's just like doing this stuff here in Texas, man. It's like I never thought I'd be doing half the things that I'd be doing here versus like going if I was living back at home in Michigan. And it's been great. It's just like I'm doing things that doing the convention stuff and then also doing like the press stuff and all that, and working helping my cousins work in like artist alley and stuff like that. So that's all been great. Meeting new content creators and new podcasters and seeing all this stuff like happen on social media, like seeing a lot of new Hmong podcasters and artists and stuff like that. So that's been really cool to see. um I haven't had time to uh I guess look over to see what I want to do next for the podcast. I know that I've been having some episodes on delay along with the Anime Frontier stuff. So from like episodes 170 to 180, I think 180 was the last one I did, but to episodes like 170 to 180, those are still in the archive, still not have been touched. I'm looking at it. I'm just like dreading to edit that stuff. But I have some great like people lined up in there. What's up, Bobby? And it's been I don't know. I don't want to say it's like a hassle, but it's just like when I look at that stuff, then and I just don't want to edit it. It's just should you guys want me to edit? Do you guys want it edited, or do you guys want it like just full on uncut type episodes? Because that'll be a lot easier for me too if I just do that. But I do love post editing to make it clean and to also make it like um I guess watchable as well. And I don't know, it's just a lot of things up in the air for the podcast right now. And there are things that like I want to do to change on Spoiler Force, like not just keep it like anime themed or review themed and stuff like that. I do want to have like I guess different type of guest on the show versus like looking for like always artists or voice actors or content creators. I've been like leaning towards kind of like mixing up the Muay Thai stuff with Spoiler Force as well. And oh, what's up, Michael? Um, so I don't know. That's all up in the air right now. So I don't know if yo pocket sized tails. Thank you so much for joining me, man. Love your stuff as well. You love your content. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that I should just start implementing the Muay Thai stuff more into the podcast, or keep that separate, or do a separate channel for that? Because that's a lot of work as well. You forgot I was going live tonight. Dude, I forgot I was going live tonight. I was so busy rewatching JJK with my cousin downstairs. I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh my god, I have to go live. Uh, so it's just a lot of the things that I've been wanting to do on the podcast is like kind of changing now, and so I don't know exactly where to really go from here. That's why I'm going live and giving you guys updates and like just talking to the viewers, seeing what your guys is like I guess opinion or what you guys would like to see more from the podcast. Like, do you guys want more interviews or do you guys want more of the Muay Thai stuff? Do you guys want more reviews with my friends? I don't know. I honestly, that's why I've been like holding off on a lot of stuff. And again, the Muay Thai stuff's been definitely taking up a lot of time just training and trying to lose weight and be healthy again. So everything's up in the air still. But I am like I do want to find a way to kind of like implement more of this Muay Thai stuff. I think a lot of folks I drew in more, I guess, viewers or different fans now that I've been doing this stuff. And so it's been really cool to see that kind of interaction versus like just always sharing like, oh, I got this voice actor on today, or I got this guest or this artist on. So um things are changing a little bit now that I'm doing Muay Thai. So yeah, so if anyone's got any input on what you guys think I should do next on this on Spoiler Force, please let me know. That way I can kind of like adjust to that and maybe find a different audience to bring in or to kind of like hit a different demographic with my content because I short form content is so much easier to edit. That's why I've been doing a lot of the Muay Thai stuff again, like just doing the like the sparring content or like even the competition content like that. I can knock all that like content creating or video editing in a day versus like a interview which takes me about a good few days if I'm like dedicated on editing the episode and like recording for over an hour. And so like I don't even think a lot of viewers nowadays listen to that stuff unless you have a very engaging conversation. And it's I don't know, it's hard to put on that front sometimes when I have to remember that, oh man, I have to keep at least an episode at least 30 minutes or so longer versus like just doing a quick 2 to 3 minute bag hitting recording and just throwing it up on the internet. So it's I don't know. It's a lot of different things going all at once. Um, but yeah, so that's what's been going on. And for Instagram, I don't think I'll be able to screen share because I do plan to screen share something later, like before I end this live stream. I had someone suggest that I go over the uh the point Muay Thai round that I did over the weekend. Um, and shout out to all my family and my cousins and my coaches and my teammates who were there at the event in Duncanville for watching the match too, which ran really late compared to everyone else. But yeah, someone I had a fan suggest that like they wanted me to kind of like commentate my thoughts on the match, like what was going through my mind and what I was thinking and all that good stuff. So that'll be towards the end of this live stream. But until then, if there's anyone that wants to like comment or say anything about the podcast or what I should do about the podcast, please do. I'd love to hear your input on that. If there's any like guests in the future that you guys would like to see on the show, please let me know. That way I can kind of like sort out after editing the episodes that I have in my archive, like that way I can kind of like gauge who to bring on the show versus like just grabbing anyone. What have you been covering lately? That's a good question, Justin. What have I been covering? So I've been covering like just like anime reviews and just like interviewing voice actors on these previous episodes. Let me see. Let me just pull up my because I've already announced like what those episodes are. I just don't have it edited and released. So uh yeah, so like I spoke with some Dragon Ball Z voice actors. I spoke with some of My Hero voice actors. Like these are long overdue. Like some of them are like dated back to like last July. Um you're almost done with JJK. Dude, I went back and rewatched season 2. Still love it. Like it's freaking amazing. Um but yeah, I aside from the voice actors, like I've had like convention vendors on, and I had some friends on the show, and I've also reviewed The Bear on Hulu. So that was a fun episode to do. It's just like I said, all these episodes I'm doing it in order, and it's just taking forever to edit. So that's why they're not out yet. Um, let's see. You're also in the same dilemma with horror stories because Monghui will love it. but I want to do other genres. I might take some pivoting on your part. How to find a balance. If you enjoy it though, I can definitely see more views from the Muay Thai content. Dude, thank you, man. Yeah, see, that's the thing too. That's why like I wanted to kind of like see if I can shift my content. Like I don't want to rebrand Spoiler Force. I think Spoiler Force sticks. Everyone knows me by Spoiler Force or by Spoiler. It's just it's hard to kind of like keep this same, I guess, the same commitment to this content because podcasting, everyone's doing it now. Everyone has a podcast. You can easily just pick up a mic like the one I have here, record it on your phone, and throw the audio or video up, and there you go. You have an episode. That's why, like, I've been very lazy with this stuff because it's just like everyone's doing it, and it's honestly there's really not much joy in it. Like I still love it, but it's just like I honestly don't want to edit no more. Like doing this by myself is difficult as hell. So like that's why earlier I asked like should I just throw up all these episodes like raw, like just unedited, uncut, no intro, outro, no music type shit. Just like throw it up there like a song cover, and see what people think. Because I think that'd be a lot easier on me to just like edit like that. Aside from like all like the dead air and all that stuff, like I could probably crop a little bit of that. But yeah, like I love post editing just because of that though. Oh, what's up, Orlando? Thank you for joining, man. Am I planning to watch Madam Web? If I am, let me know if it's good. Dude, Madam Web, I'm just gonna wait for that to to either be on Disney Plus or just pirate it. I'm not gonna pay my money to go watch Madam Web. Although I do love Sydney Sweeney. That's the only reason why I'd go watch it is because of her and the rumors of a live action Gwen Stacy. I think that was the rumors, but I don't know if that's true. So don't quote me. Justin asks, "What do you feel about what else do you feel like covering if not the Muay Thai or anime?" Other than the Muay Thai and anime stuff, dude, there's nothing really much. I mean, like I love both the stuff. It's just like it just one's a lot easier than the other, and right now I feel like, yeah, you said the same too. Yeah, so I feel like Muay Thai is a lot easier just because I can. It's shorter content. It's way easier to like to just edit and throw it up there versus like a whole on podcast episode. Like it's a lot easier to do that. Solo leveling is super overrated. Wow, you really think that? Wow. So one of the Instagram comments said solo leveling is overrated. Ooh, that kind of stings. I bought. Okay, I'll give you that because I've bought the first two volumes of the manga. Never read it, and then I watched the show and I like the anime. I like the animation, but I can see why you say it's overrated. There's a lot of typical isekai type tropes on there. Yeah, right, Michael. Hot take. That's what I'm saying. It's a hot take. But yeah, I'll give you that. I like it. Is it overrated? I don't know, but I like it. Some, someone I think mentioned horror stories. I think they said it on a different platform. Yeah, so like Pocket Size Tales does horror stories. He does like ghost or paranormal stories on his channel and like does short stories or like goes over people's like experiences and stuff like that. Lots of great stories in there, dude, and he does it really well. So go check out Pocket Size Tales, man. Go check out his channel. Yeah, a lot of great stuff on there. Yeah, I can't do storytelling stuff like that. That's not really my kind of genre or like my type of uh guess content. That's why I can't do it. That already will take me forever to edit. That and yeah. Let's see. He finished the manga in 4 days. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. See, now I got to catch up, man. Now my uncles are reading the manga. I got to catch up on solo leveling, man. I've been getting into missing 411 super cool stuff. Is that a horror YouTube channel, Justin? Like I like that stuff, but like it's not something I'd go out of my way to listen to all the time. Like it's got to be something very intriguing for horror stories to catch me. Like a lot of it's always like, or at least the ones I listen to, it's always people causing the trouble versus like it's happening to them just out of nowhere. Like there's a big difference in like people going out and like looking for the ghost, like, hey ghost, I'm here, and then they get haunted. Yeah, because you went looking for them, versus like someone who's never experienced it and it haunts them out of nowhere. But yeah, so if anyone who's just tuning in, if you see me looking off to the side, I have my phone here as well. I'm live on Instagram, and then same thing on Instagram. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. So like I'm looking at my big monitor here for comments and stuff. So, if you feel like I missed out a comment or something, then, I'm sorry because I'm reading on both screens. It's a number of cases of people missing in national parks. Holy crap. I didn't know that. Wow. So, yeah, that's scary. See, that's why I don't go like camping and hiking and stuff like that. I don't want to get lost out there. it's it's already scary enough. Like you're risking like getting lost or like something bad happening to you, like that James Franco movie where he had to cut his hand off. Like screw that. I am not. I'm better in the comfort of my own home. It's already being outside is already scary enough. Let alone walking around in a forest or a mountain or a big national park. And like you got to think about the wild animals and all that stuff. So screw that. I'm good. Let's see here. What did Pakistan said? Never been into manga, but Vagabond seems interesting. Yeah, I heard good things about Vagabond. I've never like looked into it, but I know people who I've interviewed. Like they said that's pretty good too. Thoughts on Deadpool 3? Oh, dude, Deadpool 3. Man, that's the only reason I watched the Super Bowl. That's the only reason why I watched it. I wanted to see the Deadpool 3 trailer, which was freaking phenomenal. I mean, Deadpool's costume looks better. I don't know, maybe it's just like the different color or something, but I feel like the costume looked a lot better in Deadpool 3 versus like how they introduced him in the first movie. Um, but I loved it, man. Like I can't like I was already looking at like synopsis spoilers and stuff like that before Ryan Reynolds like even dropped like the official pictures and stuff like that, because Facebook and Instagram, Twitter and TikTok always have these spoilers. So uh Deadpool 3, I kind of got the gist of what it was about. I figured the TVA was going to be involved in it just because of Deadpool's time traveling. I wasn't expecting to see his girlfriend or wife in the trailer, so I'm assuming that he must have went into a different timeline and got her, and then that's probably what caused the TVA to jump in, along with him like killing everything and ruining everything. She really changed her competition headgear. Top 10 headgear has better vision and super lightweight. Yeah, the headgear I got for my competition, I got that as a hand me down from a good friend, Yiling. He does like he did do like boxing, and I believe he also did kickboxing as well. He sent some gear that he had extra gear that he sent to me and my cousin Bobby before we started officially training Muay Thai. So, but yeah, I'll definitely look into getting different headgear, man. But it's what I had for now, and it worked. But Deadpool, yeah. So like I think I think Deadpool's gonna go around and he's gonna be the reason why like the Fox universe is gonna intertwine with the MCU stuff, and he's gonna be the reason why like Kang's gone or like why Wolverine's back, or at least a different variation of Wolverine. He's gonna cause a lot of these things in the MCU to kind of like disrupt all the things that the writers have done that screwed a lot of things over, like plots and stuff like that. So Deadpool's gonna fix the MCU pretty much. I'm hyped to see Tyler, man. Hopefully, Ray Park. Yeah. Yep. Excited to see all that, man. Let's see. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds is going to be an awesome duo. Yes, they are. They are going to be an awesome duo. Like especially now that like I love how Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have been over the years have been like teasing the idea of them working together in a movie. And Hugh Jackman said like he'll only come back as Wolverine if it's like a pivotal part. And of course, it's Deadpool. So he's coming back in the yellow and blue suit. I mean, if you've seen the pictures, you've seen it. If you haven't, don't go looking for it because it'll ruin everything. But there's a lot of I don't want to confirm any of those rumors, but I've seen some of these pictures and I'm very excited to see what they have planned. I just hope that like if they do wipe out certain characters, that they do it in a very Deadpool fashion. Like I have a feeling it's just gonna be like, oh my god, it's them, and then a rock falls on them because of Deadpool. So I think that I think that's what's gonna happen to a lot of these features. I am excited to see how Deadpool is gonna fit in the MCU with how I guess the change from Kang to possibly Doctor Doom. I don't know if they're gonna do that or not, but I know Secret Wars. There was a comic book of Secret Wars in the trailer of Deadpool because fans are already like zooming up to the pictures and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe Deadpool causes Secret Wars. The first video of Ryan and Hugh Jackman sitting on the couch about to explain the plot and music kicks in. Yeah, dude, their chemistry is amazing, man. Like I remember when Ryan Reynolds was first doing the Deadpool stuff and Hugh Jackman was saying happy birthday to that one kid, and you can hear Ryan Reynolds singing Tomorrow from like the Annie play in the background. So like I like that, they've kept up this chemistry throughout the years of Deadpool thinking Hugh Jackman is actually Wolverine type of deal. And then I hope they kind of like tease that where Deadpool calls Wolverine Hugh Jackman, or like something else, or like his what was that one movie he was in where he was singing like in the circus or something like that. Just keeps making digs at Wolverine. And I can't wait, man, because I want to see like this, I guess, this comedy play out in a way where Wolverine has to work with Deadpool, like in the Deadpool versus Wolverine comics. And I love that too, just like seeing how irritating Deadpool is to Wolverine. So I love to see that in movie form, in live action form. But yeah, that's the only reason I watched the Super Bowl. And then the Planet of the Apes commercial or preview was pretty good. I'm excited for that. And then I'm also excited for, I was hoping they'd show a Godzilla trailer, but I think that a new Godzilla trailer is going to come out either this week or by the end of the weekend. Um, Greatest Showman, yeah, yeah. So I hope they tease that, or at least Deadpool makes a reference to that to Wolverine in Deadpool 3, or makes fun of him for singing. That'll be pretty funny. Um, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the Super Bowl. The only reason why I watched it, I didn't really care much about the game. Um, let's see, we're about almost 30 minutes in. Um, yeah, so I mean, it's all this stuff that I've been doing, man. I'm very excited to hopefully when I have time to release these episodes, like I want to share this all with you guys, man. I want you guys to see the interviews that I've had. It's just like I said, making time for it has been pretty difficult. Um, but I guess I had like things lined up too, which is weird. Like there was episodes on certain topics that I wanted to cover, and I don't know, man. Like it's always changing, which is why like, I don't want to announce anything new aside from all the stuff that's been pre-recorded. Like I don't want to be like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do here, and then like 2 to 6 weeks from now, it's like, oh, it's not there, So I've been like just shuffling through a lot of this stuff. Uh, you're kind of a one man show at the moment, yeah, dude. Like, that's pretty much what it is, man. Just being a one man show and post editing and coming up with all this stuff, and then also like networking has been networking here in Texas is a lot harder than I thought it'd be, just because there's just so much more content creators here, and everyone's essentially doing the same thing too. Everyone wants to talk to actors or big name content creators, or even like just like collaborate with certain people or certain artists and stuff like that. So it's been hard to network because got to be real, man. Like you got to have a decent following to even try to have like someone on the caliber of like these higher end social media content creators to be on your show. And of course, money talks too. You got to have money to at least invite someone on the show, and unless they're like really cool, you're able to get them on. But that's why, like I said earlier, it's just doing this podcast stuff. It's fun, but when you have to like, or at least for me, when I have to like network and schedule things and work around people's schedule, it makes it a lot harder. Just because like I now that I have less time to do these things, it's just I want to make sure like now that after getting these 10 episodes out, whenever I do, anything after that is just like I want to make sure it's a committed thing where, okay, why if I have this guest on, then I'm gonna just solely work on that, get that out, and then like the next 2 weeks work on something else. And that's why I said with the Muay Thai stuff, it's been so much easier with Muay Thai because I can just go to the gym, record a quick training session video or quick sparring session video, edit it over the weekend, and throw it up on the internet, and that's it. So, and it's been drawing much different, like it's been drawing in different viewers, and it's been also like exposing my content to a different demographic. So that's why like earlier in this live stream, like I said, it's just it's up, everything's up in the air right now. So I'm trying to shift to see where I can find a balance of still doing the podcast while doing Muay Thai. And a lot of my enjoyment is right now is in Muay Thai right now. So we'll see. But yeah, so we're a little over 30 minutes in. I guess we can, if you're on Instagram, switch over to YouTube or Facebook, because I'm gonna start talking about the my match that I did over the weekend. That way you can kind of get like a point of like first person commentary on the match. Uh, I don't plan to do this live stream too long. I just wanted to catch you guys up and let you guys know what's going on with the podcast and get any ideas from the fans and followers as well. That way I can kind of like work on things and change things up. So if you're on Instagram, again, jump on Facebook, jump on YouTube. I'm gonna start the commentary over the match. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys for jumping on Instagram. Thank you, Justin, James, anyone else who's been on here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the YouTube or Facebook stream. All right. So let me just share this on StreamYard here. Hold on, let me. What the hell? I'm gonna mute it just because I don't want like Facebook or YouTube to kind of flag me for anything. All right, so okay, full screen this. How's my ribs, dude? I'm not as sore as I was on the day of the event. It's still a little bit sore, but thank God I have my prescription medication from like a previous not knee injury, but like a previous knee issue. Like I guess I'll talk about that in a moment too. But yeah, so I've been taking that and it's been helping. So first we're gonna just talk about like the match here. So this was at the IKF PMT Point Muay Thai event in Duncanville, Texas at the field house. I fought at the end of the day type of deal. Like I didn't fight till like 6 p.m. in the evening. I was there from 8 a.m. all the way to 6 p.m. And I got there early just to weigh in. And I spent like the past 2 weeks before the event just cutting weight. So like when you were seeing if you follow me on my either on my Instagram or personal Facebook, I was sharing like my weight loss. That wasn't actual weight loss. That was just me cutting water and salt. So like I actually blew back up over the weekend, just rehydrating and eating carbs again. So at this point, I want to say I was fine. I didn't feel like terrible or anything, but like I had a big like lunch and then I was eating protein bars too, just to kind of like keep my energy up. Um, Also just like I was somewhat irritated just because I wanted my match so bad because there was very little people that entered at 200 pounds, and they had like this live, I guess this website that was going live on like the matches and times and stuff like that, and everything was very unorganized at this event, which made me very irritable at times. So before getting onto this match, like all my teammates were already like they had their matches, or one guy was competing already on the mat next to mine. So my coach was in my corner, and this guy, the guy here that I'm competing with, I want to say his name is Micah. I didn't get a chance to really talk to him or his gym. I would love to work with him in the future if I ever run into him again, because he's freaking good. But yeah, so that's the start of the match here. I was the main event. I wish I was the main event. Any matches or fighters that wowed me. There were some, but a lot, it's different when it's like point Muay Thai. Because there were some people that was good at scoring points, but you can tell their technique wasn't clean. Like it wasn't like like I don't know. I don't want to say it's not real competition, but like you can tell that they're only good at scoring points. So like their hands were low, their guard was low. It's very like karate taekwondo esque. So me personally, I don't think that's like someone that's good. If you can score points and just tap, okay, but you're not like landing any like real shots. the guy I was competing with, he was good, and like he's had some experience, and he you can watch if you watch this before, you can tell he was definitely pulling his punches on me. Um, but yeah, so like I said, my mindset in coming into this match was like not terrible, but I was really like I was ready to go. Like I wanted to get my match over with so I can go like out with my family and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, let's just get started on this, man. Let's watch this. Uh, all right, so I have it mute, so that way Facebook doesn't flag or Facebook or YouTube doesn't flag. So he starts off with Teep, and my game plan in here was to go in, try to find my range and establish my leg kicks because that's my best technique. I didn't realize how big he was when I was first when I first saw him. I knew he was tall and long, but I didn't think he was as big as he was. It's not until I watched the video after my fight where I was like, "Holy crap, this guy's big." And so, he's landing his punches, his straight punches on me, his jabs, his 1-2s. He's landing very clean, basic shots on me, and you can tell, like I said, he's holding back his shots. But once I was landing some good shots, and he would return that same amount of I guess energy back to me, and he kind of saw what I was doing. I made it really too predictable, and plus my head movement wasn't great. I kept my face out the whole time, and I was just trying to figure out how to get out of his range. And what sucked was like every time I threw a kick like that, like he could reach me and push my head back, and that's what was very irritating. And so it was very hard to kind of like find my footing in this first round, just trying to establish like some sort of respect, and my feints were somewhat working, but see, like I was blocking and moving like that. It was just frustrating trying to get in the inside. Once I move in, I get hit with the 1-2. If I stay on the outside, I'm in his kicking range. So I wasn't trying to get caught with any knees either. So like it was very frustrating. But this guy was good. He controlled the match. He controlled the pace. He let me work. He was nice about it. He had great footwork. Great use of his range. He's definitely experienced. But I'm glad he let me work too. Like he let me get some shots, and he didn't just like bully the shit out of me. But man, like I should. It was hard to keep my guard up too, man, because every time I kept my guard up, he just break through it with the punch, and there he threw a teep and knocked me down. And the ref, this was probably the coolest ref out of the whole like event. He let us work. I'm just gonna pause it here. Yeah. So that was the first 2 minutes of the round. Like you can see, we're just feeling each other out, and we're just like seeing what the level experience is, and you can clearly tell he knew that I wasn't great, and so he controlled me the majority of this time. And I cut out the minute rest between the rounds. So like after that first round, which I thought I did okay, I knew I didn't win that round. I thought I did okay. Went back to my corner, and I told my coach right away. I was like, dude, he's long, like he's good. And my coach was like, yeah, I can tell he's good. He definitely has some fights under his belt. He's probably a experienced amateur. My coach was like, but you're doing good though, man. You're moving, you're finding your kicks. Just keep moving. Do not let him corner you. Just, find the space to attack, and to kind of like just get inside, and that's, again, like I said earlier, that's what makes it hard, because he's so much bigger than I am. Um, See, Muay Thai is definitely hard when you're undersized. Uh, but I don't know what fighter you'd study for being an undersized fighter. I mean, like it's definitely hard. Sanchai is definitely one of the go-tos when it comes to undersized fighters. But like when you're heavier, it's when you're fighting someone who's a lot heavier, it's a lot different too. Because I was around, I want to say I was around like 200, 205 after the weigh-ins. This guy is definitely like 230 plus. And what sucked was like a lot of the guys at 200 weren't even there by the end of the day. Either some of them never showed up or some of them went home. And so by the time I had my match, I was just pretty much a warm up for this guy, because this guy fought right after our match, and he went hard on that next fight, which I will talk about later. But yeah, it was rough. They, I thought you had a good game plan with the low kicks. Thank you, man. Yeah, that's essentially what the game plan was. Like my leg kicks, I want to say my leg kicks is my best weapon when it comes to just like sparring or doing Muay Thai. Like I have like the most confidence with it. Like if I can land one on you, then I know where I can establish my range. But it's different, like I said, when it's different when you're fighting someone who's a lot heavier and a lot bigger. This guy had every physical advantage on me when it came to just like our match. Like he was bigger, he was stronger, he was longer, he was faster, way more experienced, like everything. This guy checked off every single checkbox, and I was just at a complete disadvantage. Um, but he was good, man. I shout out, I believe his name was Micah. Shout out to Micah, man. Like he was just a really good athlete and a really good a good opponent. He was a good sport. Easier to get inside in boxing. Yeah, boxing. I think boxing it's easier to get inside too because you're not worrying about like taking a knee to the face or to the body or kicks. It's just about your footwork really. And honestly, my footwork wasn't the greatest either. I've only been doing Muay Thai for like 10 months, so my footwork is trash. But like I said, this guy let me work, so he was really cool about it. The taller guys, the overhand is open because they always. Yeah. I should have tried to throw more overhand rights, man. It was just fresh. I guess the frustration of his length got to me, knowing that like if I came in, I had to eat like 2 or 3 good shots just to land one. And so, like I said, even with my kicks, when I landed a kick, his arms were just in my face already. So it was very difficult to kind of to get in with my punches because he was good. His footwork was good, and he was able to read me easily. So this is round two. All right, so my coach just tells me to just keep moving. You're gonna have to eat some to get some. So he comes back. He gets a little bit more aggressive this round now that he's got a taste of what I throw. See, like he was doing that, like he was keeping his hands out, keeping me out of his range, and he was throwing very good body shots, man. Like I gotta give this to him, man. He was setting up everything. He wanted me to chase him so he can set up his counters. I kind of regret keeping my hands so low too. Like, see that I dropped my guard like that. It was just super frustrating trying to get in the inside. And yeah, he was landing his body shots right there. I was blocking the majority of it. Even then, like feeling his shots hurt. Like I think it's gonna be coming up where he throws a good body punch at me. Yeah, it's a nice one too, right there from him. I just ate that shit. I even when I blocked it, it still went through. There was no point of blocking at that point. I was trying to set up my feints. I caught his kick there, threw a nice body shot. Like because he was so tall, I can only punch his body. I couldn't like really go over his head. Oh man, nice body kick right there. This is where he started like amping up right there. See how he was moving left to right? It's cornering me. I'm trying to throw back, trying to get outside the corner. And he was just really pushing the pace. Like he'll let me push a little bit, then he pushed back a lot harder. And this is his body shots he's setting up. I was feeling those ones. I think he was trying to look for the liver at one point. Right there, that liver shot right there hurt me right there. I felt that one right there hurt me. Then that body kick and the right hand to the head. I was feeling those punches and those kicks. So I was moving, trying to establish my kicks again. And then he can tell I was out of breath, and bam, I'll pause it right there. So thank God I stepped back when he threw that kick because I think if had I stepped forward or just stayed there, he would have broke my ribs. That was the shot that pretty much sealed the deal of that fight. Like he won that fight with that knockdown. Um, yeah, he was throwing very nice body shots at me, and I was feeling it. I was doing my best to show my poker face, but he can tell, like he could easily tell that I was like my stamina was going away because each shot he threw at my body, like especially with his punches, I felt like shock waves going through my body. And then his kicks, I think his it was his power kick that got me too. Like even though I blocked it, like he hurt me. And so I wasn't like I was just trying to survive at that point. To be honest, I was just trying to survive and trying to score some points. I was not expecting that spinning kick at all, especially from a guy that size, because it was already like he was already moving very well for a guy his size, and then to see him throw that spinning kick in this video, he threw it just out of nowhere. And in the fight, I did not even see it. I didn't see he he hit the spin really well. His hands were low, you know. He did it very well, and I stepped away from the kick, but I caught the end of his heel, and it hit me like on You can't see it on my screen, but like he hit me like towards the upper my upper right ribs, like near my chest more. Thank God he didn't go any lower. He probably would have broke my floating ribs if he landed it perfectly. He probably would have broke pretty much my right side of my ribs if he landed it perfectly. But even then, just getting like a nick of it uh hurt the shit out of me. I was like when I was post fight, I was like breathing and it was hurting to breathe. That's how much he hurt me. And like even now I'm still sore from that kick. But yeah, he knocked me down. The ref was really cool. The ref didn't stop. Thank God the ref didn't stop the fight. He let me continue on. So we'll finish this video, then I'll give like the rest of my input. No, I'm not bruised. What's up, Danny? Yeah, so the ref let me get back up, and I wasn't like because the adrenaline's pumping. I wasn't like feeling it yet, but he let me get up. He's like, just do you want to continue? How do you feel? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Let's go. Let's finish this. There's only like a few seconds left, and so yeah, we touch gloves. I'm tired at this point. He knocked the air out of me, but see how like he's moving. Nice body shot. That I felt that one. My hands kept dropping, so he knew what was going on. Yeah, and then that's the end of the round. So went to his corner, thanked them. His corner was very cool. Yeah. So that's pretty much like the 2 2-minute rounds. Like it had it been usually it's 2 2-minute rounds, and if it was a tie, then it'd be three. But this guy clearly won the match. But yeah, this was a rough first match for like point Muay Thai. And for me especially, I haven't competed in over like a decade, so stepping right into this, only 10 months of Muay Thai, like it was, I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of myself just to be able to do this again. um do I want to stay in this weight class? No way. I'm not. I want to cut to at least 180 by the summer, and hopefully I can get better opponents. um yeah, better opponents, or like someone my size when it comes to Muay Thai. Let's see. Are takedowns allowed? No, you can sweep, but then they were very like uh strict on certain sweeps. Like you can't judo throw and stuff like that. So yeah, you can catch the kick and like kick the foot out from under them, or and you can clinch, but you can't like do any wrestling throws or anything like that. It's very unfortunate that you didn't get someone the same weight as you. Yeah, it was rough. I'm still pretty upset at how the event ran that. Like, on my division list, like there was only like 10 or 12 people, and I don't know. I think maybe half of them got their matches, and then the other half just either didn't show up or they were like they left early. Um, but yeah, I had to go against a guy that was like at least 30 pounds heavier than I was. But like I said, I'm not like mad or anything. I'm mad at the event for making me do that. It sucks, but like I'm glad I got this match out the way. I got the experience that I needed. I found out where I needed, like what I need to work on and stuff like that. Definitely need to lose more weight for sure. But again, thanks to Micah and his team, man, for not like destroying me, because they right after our match, man, he had another match right away, because initially when we first started our match, he saw me and was like, dude, are you my opponent? And I was like, I guess, because I was like, he's like, oh, because you're kind of small. Or, what weight are you? My coach was like, he's 200. And the guy was like, oh shoot, he went back to the staff and was like, hey, this guy's too small, like he's not my size. And they asked me like, hey, do you still, like, your name's on the list, but do you want to continue, just get this match with him? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I didn't realize, like I said, I didn't realize how big he was until I watched the video. Like I knew he was tall, and I like once that match was done, all my cousins, my mom, my sister were like, oh my god, Ricky, like did you realize how big he was? I'm like, no. I just knew he was bigger just when he hit me. Like that's when I knew he was bigger than I was. Like the moment I felt his 1-2 and like his shots, I was like, oh shit, man, this guy's big. But it wasn't until I saw the video where I physically saw how much of a physical advantage he had on me. I was like, damn, I actually survived 4 minutes with this guy. Yeah, but I'm glad he pulled his punches when he did. He landed some good shots, and he only gave back what I gave him. And trading with him and like being able to at least show him that like, I wasn't like just a I guess not just like a easy punching bag, but I threw back shots. I wasn't afraid to trade with him. I think that's what made me kind of at least get some respect out of him. But once he was like getting comfortable, he was lighting me up. So yeah. Uh let's see here. Oh, so Yilang, am I going to start MMA too or sticking to Muay Thai? I'm gonna stick to Muay Thai, man, because MMA, my knees are bad. I can't shoot for takedowns anymore, or I shouldn't be shooting for takedowns anymore. But we'll see once I lose more weight, see how I feel. But I think Muay Thai is where it's at right now for me. How tall am I? I'm 5'8". 5'8" around. Now that I gained some weight back from like just splurging over the weekend, I'm 5'8", around 210 pounds. Walking weight is around 210 pounds. So yeah, I was a lot heavier before. If you've seen my weight loss journey, dude, like it's insane to see how big I got at one point. Who is the fighter you like to watch and emulate? When I was first fighting, dude, I think I've talked about this before, I believe on the podcast or on a live stream, but when I first started training, I was around like 15, 16. The I've always watched UFC and MMA and Pride and Strikeforce, K1. I've always watched that stuff growing up. Um, BJ Penn was one of the first fighters that I really liked, but the fighter that I loved to emulate the most when I was training was Lyoto Machida, hands down. That guy's my favorite fighter, hands down. Lyoto Machida was my guy. I loved the way how he was able to strike and not get struck, or at least in his prime. His karate style, his footwork, the sumo, which was super underrated at the time. No one like I don't know why no one ever really brought up that background of his, because with his sumo background, he was, it was hard to take him down to the floor. Um, his judo background was good. Like Cheetah was one of my favorites. Like he was definitely someone I try to emulate. As I got older, and then once I started doing like boxing and wrestling training, I realized that style is not really meant for me because I don't have long limbs and I'm not like the tallest when it comes to like fighting. Like 5'8" is just like average, even, or at least by today's standards, it's below average now because so many fighters are freaking like 5'11" and 6 foot now. But at the time I was training, that was like average. But I realized that I don't have the longest arms or the longest legs. So boxing and wrestling really helped me to kind of stay in the inside and figure out how to like trade and move. So boxing wise, I want to say Pacquiao was probably one of the few that I not try to emulate, but seeing his style, like how he was able to trade with his opponents to get in and get out, was something that I tried doing. I didn't have the greatest footwork, so that didn't really work for me either. But wrestling definitely helped me to not be afraid of like the clinch, dirty box, or like, like I guess, not try to like be afraid to get in the inside. Some people aren't comfortable fighting in the inside when they're like clenching your arms or grappling you. So wrestling helped me overcome that fear. Um, but I wasn't the greatest though. Like I loved the training on that stuff, and I trained with amateurs when I was younger, and I was actually training to try to be an amateur until I got injured. I had like a really bad neck injury in wrestling. Thank God I didn't break my neck, but that kind of like made me scared of competing, and then that also like having that injury made my parents, freak out, and they're like, "No, you're not doing this no more." And at the time, I was still living with them, so I'm still in high school doing that stuff, so I couldn't pursue it after that neck injury. And then I think I had a slight shoulder injury that I never got checked out from wrestling too. And from time to time, like I could still feel the pain in my right shoulder, and like still feel like the clicks and stuff. I've never had it checked out, but yeah, that's why like grappling for me is kind of like out the window, because I don't want to like ruin any unchecked injuries that I had from grappling. And then now that I'm older and heavier, like my knees are bad, my shoulders are bad now, um, from like football and all that stuff too. And so like I try not to do anything like that's that rough on my body. But yeah, Muay Thai's been a helper for sure. Uh, I think you should check out Gokhan Saki. Oh yeah, I know Gokhan Saki. Yeah, yeah. I watched some of his stuff when he was doing Glory. Uh, Heavyweight fighter. Dutch, yeah. I'll do, honestly, I'll tell you this, dude. Like Dutch style kickboxing has been some of my favorite, like to watch now. Like I think me physically, like my physique, my size, how my body's structured. I think that it matches more of a Dutch style like striking art versus like traditional Muay Thai. Because I see like a lot of folks doing traditional Muay Thai, like they're tall, skinny, lean, very lanky. Like it works for them. But for me, like you look at like I said, Gokhan Saki or Mike Zambidi, even Rateng. Rateng kind of has like that physique to do like Dutch style boxing. Like he doesn't really do that, but he stands in the middle and trades. Um, but like, yeah, just that kind of style of striking, like I think that matches me more. Even my coach, he when he sees me spar and stuff like that, like um he wants me to like, just strong defense, take a few shots, give some back, but you want to make sure when I give back my shots, like you hit them hard. Liam, not Liam Neeson, I'm thinking of the actor, but Liam, what's his name? He's a he's a kickboxer too. Liam, damn it, what is his name? Liam. Liam Harrison, that's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, Liam Harrison's one that my coach wants me to like really try to emulate, or at least watch his videos and emulate, because he's a very strong Dutch style fighter, like heavy hands, strong leg kicks. That's Liam Nolan. I don't know who that. I'll definitely check him out. But Liam Harrison is definitely the one that my coach wants me to emulate. And I've been watching his stuff, dude. Like he's really good. Like when it comes to just counter striking with the leg kicks and stuff like that. And like my style is more like I'm very heavy handed. So I like to throw my punches more. So I have to like find ways to get in the pocket, throw punches, keep my guard up, and just throw leg kicks and return that. I can't, I can't like I'm not meant to do like any of that like fancy Mayweather or Roy Jones type of style. I can't do that. That's not really my physique. There's a quote that Faraz Zahabi says, like, you got to know like what style matches your body. You can't be like a Mike Tyson size guy and fight like Muhammad Ali and vice versa. So I think watching a lot of Dutch style kickboxing has been helping me a lot too. And uh my coach does more Dutch style with traditional Muay Thai though, but like he focuses more on Dutch style just because of the leg kicks and the heavy hands. So I've been working more on that, and um tomorrow I'll be going back to the gym just to hit the bag, but I'm gonna focus more on like just my stance and my footwork and stuff like that. Liam started late and was still ended up topping out. Yeah, dude, like the guy's good, man. And that's the thing. I think like a lot of fighters like that, like I give them props. Like any fighter who starts late like that and are able to compete at a high level says a lot. I can't do that. I'm not meant for that. I love to train. I love to do the sparring stuff like that. But to try to make this a career thing, no, that's not happening. No, I wish I like knew how to take care of my body when I was younger though. That's the thing. Like I wanted, had I known the things that I know now versus when I was like 18, I would have taken care of my body way much better. I would have found ways to eat better and find ways to heal better. Like, when I first started doing all this training, I was just like training hard almost every day, like 4 to 5 days a week, training hard, doing wrestling, boxing, MMA, um, you know, not eating correctly either, and then not finding ways to heal myself better. And you just get up and go. And then now like a decade, and then taking a 10 years off of any kind of training, getting super obese to where I'm at now, to where I'm losing all that weight. And, it's just like I have all this knowledge of what I should be doing that's right. But I wish I did this when I was younger, to where like I could take care of myself better, because I'm suffering a lot of these like bad choices, the consequences of my bad choices. Should sign up for K1 rules next time. No clincher. Oh yeah, that's more like that's like kickboxing. I know that Waco kickboxing. They know that I think they just had like an event in Florida, and I know that Warman. If you follow Warman Muay Thai, from Minnesota, some of their guys just went to that Waco event too. Like I don't mind the kickboxing rules, like K1 kickboxing rules, but I do like the clinching and stuff too. I feel like that's what makes Muay Thai so like so unique too. Is like the excuse me is the clinch game. I'm not the greatest in the clinch because I wasn't great at wrestling. Wrestling just taught me how to not be scared of getting in the face of my opponent. But uh, I do enjoy the clinch work, like seeing how people can throw and sweep and stuff like that. Um, and inside elbows and throwing knees and stuff like that. That's part of the game that I really want to learn. That's why Muay Thai works for me, just because like that's part of the game that I really like to kind of like get better at. Like punching and kicking, everyone can do that, but clinching is where it's at, where it really tests to see like your stamina, your strength, and then also shows like you don't need to be a big muscle dude, to to be great at the clinch. Like all the Thai fighters, man, they're so good at clinching, and it's all about like the inside control and hand control, and just like you don't even need a full like Thai plum to control someone. You just have to make sure you're on the inside and having a good position to control them, and keeping your hips in versus and standing straight versus like wrestling where your hips are out. And I have to learn how to not do that. I get picked on all the time because I come in and clinch, and then like I end up making my hips go out versus like standing up straight and pushing my hips in. So I got to get better at that. Muay Thai is a slower pace compared to K1 because of the clinch. Yeah, I want to say it could be that too, but traditional Muay Thai, at least from the ones I watch, like they always start off slow, just because like it's, or at least when you watch fights in Thailand, like they start off slow in the first round, mostly because of like that's when they're betting and stuff like that. But if you watch like one FC, now that they're doing Muay Thai with the small gloves, the knockouts are definitely coming faster, just because a lot of Thai fighters have to get used to the MMA gloves instead of using the traditional Thai boxing gloves. And that's very unique, that what one is doing too is like, now that the European fighters are coming in doing Muay Thai at one, they're able to knock out Thai fighters with small gloves. Like if you watched Haggerty fighting Nong O, or like Nong O's latest loss against another UK guy, he got knocked out from punches, and people were like getting mad online. They're like, "That's not Muay Thai," because he's just throwing punches at Nong O. But like that's part of the game now. Like that's doing Muay Thai with small gloves is like it's kind of picking up now. But you can still watch like RWS or like Fairtex. Fairtex has a channel too, and then um, there's others like Thai boxing channels that like show traditional Thai boxing with the gloves on still, or the boxing gloves still. Yeah, they do break the clinch faster than a normal Thai fight. Yes, yeah. It's kind of weird because like a lot of the one rules is like they want constant activity. Like even when you watch the MMA stuff, like they want constant activity. If the moment you're just in a standstill or not moving, the ref either stands you back up or breaks you apart. So that's what's kind of different when it comes to one. Yeah, that's one thing I don't really like about one, is like, because like some of the positions you get in the clinch is what kind of like can help you either win or lose the fight. And if you're in the middle of like trying to figure something out and the ref just stops, it's like, what the hell? So it is upsetting I forgot what fight I was watching, but there was a ref that was like stopping the clinch every second they got once the fighters were clinching. I think it was like a girl fight that was happening or something like that. And then the moment they got the clinch, like the ref broke them up. Yeah, let them work in the clinch, man. Like that, I don't know. I guess it varies. It varies on who's fighting and who the ref is and stuff like that. But definitely in one, they want constant action, because even when fighters are like standing still, like if they're just like staring at each other and not really moving, they get forced, like, you gotta move, the ref will keep telling them, keep going, like, you can't just stand there. You have to keep moving and show some sort of aggression. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like this is, thank you guys for for joining the stream and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary of my match as well. Like, I keep repeating myself, but hopefully I can find a way to make content that'll hit the right demographic for both the podcast and the Muay Thai stuff. But as of now, like all the stuff that I'm doing, it's still very up in the air. So whatever I can get my hands on first, I'm probably gonna push it out first, and most likely that's gonna be the Muay Thai stuff. But I do promise to get these podcast stuff out soon. I gotta find time to really sit down and to really like edit these episodes. And now that I'm done with the training camp and cutting weight and all that stuff, hopefully I can try to get this stuff out before the summer. Um, yeah, dude, thank you, man. Thank you for joining, man. It was really great to speak with you as well, and to interact as well with new followers and former and old the day one followers and stuff like that. So I'm glad you guys still tune in to watch the podcast stuff and the news and all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this live stream. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to Spoiler Force if you haven't yet. um Spoiler Force on YouTube, we're almost to 750 subscribers, so please help share the channel so that we can get to 750, and then that way we can be almost to 1,000. I've been doing this stuff for almost 5 years now. um Getting to 1,000 is definitely that goal that I want to try to get to for the podcast. And the same for like Instagram, dude. Like it's odd because like a lot of content creators I see, like they have a big following on either one social media app versus like what I do is like it's all the stuff that I have. It's like they all kind of grow gradually together versus like me having one big following on one end and then like a smaller following on another. I'd say I'm more active on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Twitter, not so much. I post and ghost on Twitter, and I don't really care about Twitter too much. I stopped doing Twitch. Just because I don't know. I don't really like the stuff on Twitch. And I feel like that's more for gaming versus like podcasting. Um, yeah, so you can find all the previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Play. I want to say Google Play, or excuse me, Google Podcast. You can watch the videos on YouTube. I took out SoundCloud, so no more SoundCloud. If you guys were on SoundCloud, that means you guys are really on like day one following for Spoiler Force, but no more SoundCloud. Yeah, so I have episodes 169 all the way up to 169 on audio and on video. Episodes 170 to 180 are still needing to be worked on. And yeah, if you're a new follower, thank you. If you're a day one follower, thank you for being with me this long. Um, yeah, I don't know when I'll do another live stream, but this has been fun. I wasn't expecting to go an hour on this, but it's been great to speak with you guys, and thank you to everyone who's been supporting the show from the beginning. Um, yeah, so I'll give you guys more updates once I get like things cleared out in my schedule, and then I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if we continue on with the podcast stuff or we switch to Muay Thai stuff. So continue to follow me as well, and feel free to give suggestions as well to see what you guys like to see what kind of content you guys want me to push out as well. And again, if there's any like certain guests that you guys would like to see in a future podcast episode, let me know. I'll do my best to get them on the show as well. So thank you guys, and have a great day.